Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jeff. I am a wizard and also in the daytime a doctor. Ever since October I have been working for the government, working out with the corona stuff, trying to help inform people and manage all the testing and the vaccination now. We're supposed to be the people who have the answers. We do not always have the answers, or we have answers. But they are very contradicting. But we're trying to figure it out. It's been very interesting being on the front lines, kind of. I did not expect to be there, but it happened. So cool. And during that time, I rewatched one of my favorite movies ever, Alien. Spoiler alert. I will not go into the complete story about this film, but there's one particular scene that is very big, and I think you should have the experience of the actual movie before you come to this, because I have some things to say about that scene, so I might maybe spoil it for you, but I'm not going to show it in any case. So please watch the movie. It's very good. So while watching this movie, I noticed something very particular that explains a lot about why we are here right now in the corona crisis. Now, one thing that I wanted to say to advertise this movie, because it's pretty amazing, this is before the whole visual effects, computer generated stuff, you know, and they did a lot of these, the alien and the space ships and the whole scenery, it's all handmade. It's like all these little miniature things they make. Ridley Scott also made Blade Runner, and in Blade Runner, the first movie, you see it very well in the opening shots, which are amazing. You see this whole futuristic city, and it's an entire model they made, and it's like a miniature model of the city, and they're going with the camera through it. The same thing here. I'll show you a couple of stills from this movie, which are beautiful, by the way. I want to do something more with it. I'm collecting all these stills from different movies. It's cool. Back on track. So that's really cool about this movie. Why this is a very nice movie to watch. Also, the director does a couple of visual, really cool stuff that's almost, you don't see that anymore these days in movies. First of all, he has this huge, like, because of these models, he makes the most of it, and he has these huge, drawn out scenes, like one cut. Like there are a couple throughout the movies. This is one, like sped up. It's just one scene, one cut, you know. It's really cool, and you don't notice it. It's very well done with the music, and also he does these symmetrical things. Like the beginning of that cut, you see the little bird dipping, and on the end of that cut, there's something. You see this another thing dipping. Right here on the camera. So it's like a beautiful, like, visual symmetry that's going on. The same thing after that. I love this shot, by the way, with the helmet. The computer jumps on, and you see all this information coming on the helmet, and it looks like a heart. And then a little bit further on, when they jump to going to the where the crew is asleep, the door is also a heart, you know? It's the same kind of symmetry going on. And you see more examples of this throughout the movie. It's really nice. Okay, so a little bit about the story. There's this crew and on the ship called the Nostromo. And they are coming back from, like you can see here on the text, from a mining mission. So it's a commercial kind of vehicle, and they pick up a strange signal, and the ship drops them out of what is it, cryosleep or something, so they can investigate the signal.
A transmission out here?
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission?
Acoustical beacon. It repeats at intervals of 12 seconds.
SOS?
I don't know.
Human?
Unknown.
Now, this is the first big spoiler. One of the crew members, played by Sir Ian Holm, is an android, which will which you will see further on in the movie. I recently discovered that in the whole Alien franchise, like the older movies, especially like Prometheus and stuff, in that sort of same realm, the whole android versus human thing is a really big storyline. So it comes back. So I will not go into if this makes sense or not, but something that is pretty funny is throughout the movie, the reactions from the people are pretty damn cold and pretty void of emotions or sort of empathy. Also when they encounter the alien, okay, but that is for later. And the android here, Ian Holm, his reactions are more emotional than anybody's there, and more than that, he turns out to be pretty damn evil, as you can see here.
There is a clause in the contract which specifically states any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated.
I don't want to hear it. We don't know that's intelligent.
I want to go home and party.
Barker, will you just listen to the man?
On penalty of total forfeiture of shares. Money.
And here.
This son of a bitch is huge. I mean, it's like a man. It's big.
Kane's son.
Which is pretty darn funny to be having this sarcastic, like, evil reactions. And also, when nobody's watching him, he has these... He rolls his eyes and he has very human reactions. Also here, when they first see the spaceship, so they get... Oh, by the way, the longest landing scene ever. They find the alien spaceship, they see it, and they go investigate. Here they have a very underwhelming reaction. The robot even has a more... is more impressed here than the humans are. Weird. And actually, this is where our big problem begins. Where all of this could have been prevented is probably right here, but it becomes worse, but probably right here. And this is where we all have to pay attention, where we all can learn from, like dealing with our coronavirus these days. They should have had a bigger reaction here, like, oh my God, what the hell? Let's go back to the ship. Let's talk about this. We just saw an alien. This is huge. I'm scared. Maybe we should get help. All these kinds of talks do not happen. All right. That's all he says. All right.
All right. Moving on to second.
Then it becomes pretty... where things go wrong immediately is not because of the awfulness of this alien, more of the stupidity of this guy here, who finds these eggs. So he's investigating the spaceship. First time they see it, again, no real reactions, no real responses here, just very underwhelmed. It seems like they all just want to go home or something. This guy keeps investigating. He finds these eggs. They clearly look like eggs. They're eggs. He goes on, goes to the eggs. The egg hole opens. Again, proving that this is an egg, something alien, an egg, very weird, like back off. No, he continues. He goes, oh, hanging over the egg, looking in the egg. Then he continues to put his hand in the egg. Now, I will not show you what happens next, but things go south. Okay, now somehow I just feel like he got what he deserved here. And I feel like they should have left him. Like they should have been like, oh, he has an alien on his face. How did he get the alien on his face? Well, he stuck his head in an alien egg. Oh, that's pretty stupid. Let's leave him here and go get help. Again, an important point where we could have all just not had these problems. However, things go wrong, and then they want to bring him back to the spaceship. Now here, another important point. This is where our heroess, Ripley, correctly says no, and she's clearly been through a corona pandemic because she responds like any of us would respond now after what we've been through.
Open the hatch.
Wait a minute. If we let it in, the ship could be infected. You know the quarantine procedure.
24 hours for decontamination.
We could die in 24 hours. Open the hatch.
Listen to me. If we break quarantine, we could all die.
Look, would you open the goddamn hatch? We have to get him inside.
No.
However, our friend again, our android, then opens the door. Fine, because that serves, like, that makes sense in the plot, so that's cool. Which is actually a cool scene, you know, like that's how I like that this scene is here, because they actually really talk about how did this alien get on board, you know, like how did this happen? And actually this android then has a pretty big role in this, which is cool, and it moves along pretty nicely from there. Now, so they bring the guy on board with the alien on its face. I will not like go into what happens then, but a little bit later on, they can't get the alien out. First of all, they find out that when they cut into the alien, acid comes out of the alien. It has that sort of acid as blood, and it drips to several layers of the ship's hull. Or like, no, like the hull, right? Or is that only the outer stuff? The floors, ship floors, like 2 or 3 floors or something, like really bad. They all see that, they are like, whoa, this is bad. And also when they want to get it off, it starts suffocating the guy, so they leave it there. Later on, they look at the guy, and he's lying there, but the alien is gone. The alien is gone. Then they go to look for the alien, like this. This scene just was so ridiculous to me, seeing that they just saw how bad this thing was. They couldn't get it off. It bleeds acid. To go into this room, leave the door open, then go just looking around without a mask, without gloves, without anything to protect them or to attack this thing with, looking around with their fingers prodding on edges. Crazy, crazy, nonsense. The last thing I think I need to talk about is we have this cool scene, the most classic, famous scene of Alien. So if you haven't watched it, I really encourage you to watch it. Go. And something really cool happens here, and I just want to tell this cool fact about the movie, because again, they made all these things by hand, and a lot of these things had to be mechanisms and with a lot of makeup and stuff. So for this scene, they made this entire contraption, and because they had, like, it was such a big to-do, they only had one take to do it in. So what the director did is he didn't tell the actors what was gonna happen. So all these actors had to do this scene, and the director just told them, like, something's gonna happen, just react to it. But they didn't know exactly what was gonna happen. So their reactions are pretty genuine there, which is really cool. So maybe watch that scene again if you've seen it before. Because it's pretty astonishing what they did as far as all these effects go. There are a couple of pretty funny scenes where it's like clearly a dummy, and I think that's the last thing I want to just show you. This was pretty funny to me when I saw it. It reminded me a little bit of my cat at the time because it was attacking me. So this is the only jump scare maybe I'll show you, and then we can finish this off. I hope we all learned something here, and that we all just need to wear a mouth mask and not put our heads in eggs. That's it. I really wanted to do this clip because I was procrastinating it for like 8 months. I kept blaming my ex, but I guess I can't do that anymore. Sorry, too much information. Here's the scene. Have a very nice day, everybody. Bye.